Welcome to another episode of the Azure Enablement Show. Today we're going to have a look how you can improve security for your Azure environment using the Cloud Adoption Security Review. Welcome back. My name is Thomas and I'm here with Daniel to talk about how you can improve the security for your Azure or cloud environment using the Cloud Adoption Security Review. So Daniel, great to have you here today. Before we actually go in and you show us a little bit more about that review, can you explain to us what the Cloud Adoption Security Review is?
Yeah, sure. To answer this question, I need to explain first what the Cloud Adoption Framework is. Security is an ongoing journey of incremental progress and maturity, and not a static destination. The Cloud Adoption Framework provides security guidance for this journey by providing clarity for the processes and best practices. This guidance is based on real-world experiences of our customers, of Microsoft's own security journey, and lessons learned, and the work with other organizations like NIST and CIS. This guidance is manifested in the Cloud Adoption Framework Secure methodology, which provides a vision of the complete end state of your security journey. This assessment gives you the opportunity to self-assess your security journey of your cloud adoption against this secure methodology over time.
Oh, this is fantastic. So we're taking the security guidance from the Cloud Adoption Framework and making sure that customer can basically run an assessment against it to make sure that they are building or have created a secure environment. So this is fantastic. Now, before we actually can start with this, I often get ask, okay, are there any prerequisites? Are there any requirements before I can actually take that self-assessment?
Yes, indeed. As you see in the slide deck, since we are addressing this security within the Cloud Adoption Framework, customers should be in the CAF-ready stage. At this phase or stage, customers should already have designed their Azure landing zones. They should know about their cloud adoption model, and security is critical here so that you have a secure design or plan before you're going to the next phases and deploy your workload resources into your landing zones, because you should deploy them with security in mind.
No, fantastic. So this assessment will really help, if I understand that correctly, really help our customers to identify if they have the right security strategy in place on their cloud adoption journey. Is that correct?
Exactly. At the end of this assessment, they will receive actionable recommendations to incrementally improve their security. Actionable means, by the way, that they can import those recommendations into their Azure DevOps or GitHub project and are able to track the implementation progress through standard project management processes or tasks.
Awesome. So what are the areas we are actually checking for security and best practices in this assessment?
Yeah, that's important. So we are using the CAF secure methodology for this assessment. This methodology provides guidance on the integration of security with business processes, also called business alignment, and security disciplines. Today's static security processes cannot keep up with the pace of change in cloud platforms, the threat landscape, and the evolution of security technology. You need to transform into a dynamic posture to constantly change, adapt, and improve your security.
So you a couple of times now mentioned security methodology. Can you tell me a little bit more about this?
Absolutely. To adapt this move or shift, you should focus on your business alignment in 3 categories. Number 1, risk insights. The goal of security is to expose and mitigate risks. This requires insights into risks and deep security integration, which is the second category. Integrate security insights deeper into daily operations of the business and IT environments at all levels of the organization. Security teams should work together and collaborate to avoid increased business risks resulting from operating in silos. The third category, business resilience, which means focusing on ensuring the organization is resilient by being able to continue operations during an attack, rapidly respond to incidents, and regain fully operational status after an attack.
So I think these processes we are building there they must have some sort of impact, or they require some changes or investments for these organizations. Is that true?
You are right. This business transformation will have an impact on the whole organization, and it requires changes and investments, as you mentioned. The secure methodology also provides guidance how to adapt to those changes and what you need to do in the following security principles or disciplines. So number one, access control, which means embracing a zero trust approach and creating access boundaries and segmentation to reduce the impact of security breaches. Attackers are constantly looking to get into your environment. The security operations discipline focuses on reducing the time attackers have access to resources by detecting, responding to, and helping recover from attacks. Assets always change to keep the needs of their business. Business processes are mapped to different assets like files, cloud services, identities, and so on. Asset protection means maximizing the protection of all assets to minimize risks like data breaches or data exfiltration. So security governance, which is the next discipline, provides standards and guidance to drive consistent execution of security best practices and controls, and aligns to your business priorities with technical implementations. It provides the translation from business requirements and risks into the technical environment. And the last security discipline, innovation security, is the integration of security and tools into the development and operational processes, DevOps, which then creates a DevSecOps process. The goal is to shift from your organization from a waterfall development cycle to an agile DevSecOps life cycle to address security concerns early, with processes, for instance, like threat modeling and tools for automated credential scanning or governance scanning.
This is absolutely great. And I especially love the part where you just said, like, hey, we need to implement security early, right? All the benefits from having that in place, that makes a lot of sense. So now, obviously, we talked a lot about it. Can you show us the security assessment?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me show you the assessment portal and how to conduct a cloud adoption security review. So on the web, you need to navigate to aka.ms/assessment, and then you will see this assessment portal. Then you can browse all available assessments. In our case, we need to search for cloud adoption and hit search. Then we see this cloud adoption security review. Let's select this one. And then you see this button, Start Assessment. What you also see here below, your sessions, which means you can start an assessment, you can stop. Later on, you can continue with this assessment. You can create different versions of this assessment, for instance, after 3 months, 6 months, and then you can compare those results. For this to be able to see your sessions, you need to log in on this website. So in our case, let's start this assessment. And the first choices which you need to answer or which you need to decide is on which area, domain area, you want to do this assessment. Remember, those are the cloud adoption security methodology. You see business alignments, access control, security operations, and so on. This is just what I explained, which means you can select all of them, or you can just focus on, let's say, asset protection like I do here. Select your domain areas and then hit start. And then you will see you're presenting with the first questions, in our case, in asset protection. You need to go through each of those questions. You need to think about your answers, if you have implemented them, if they are already implemented into landing zones or not, if you need to do something, and then just select the corresponding checkboxes for each particular questions. And you need to do, and then hit next. And you need to do this for the remaining pages on this assessment. At the end, when you are done, it will look like this one. You will be presented with your results, and then you will get your scoring. You see the number here, and you also see this blue box with export to CSV, which is important. As I mentioned, this assessment, the recommendations are actionable, which means what you can do, you can export them, this CSV file, and then you can import them into a project management tracking tool like Azure DevOps or GitHub, and to track the progress. If you scroll down, you see the different recommendations. In our case here, 26 recommendations for asset protection, and you see the individual recommendations. If you select one of them, it will navigate you to the documentation, Cloud Adoption Framework, Azure Architecture documentation, where you will find more information how to implement this particular recommendation.
Awesome. So this is fantastic. So I love that we can do the assessment and that it can obviously show us where we actually need to go, that these items are actually actionable, right? So I see that I'm not doing well, for example, in this case, in encryption, and it directly brings me to the encryption page. But I also like, and I want to amplify this, what you said at the beginning, it's great to actually do this review multiple times, right? So I do it at the beginning of my cloud journey. And then during that time, I have different milestones where I can go on and actually, like if I've done changes, I can actually see how they work and how they impact my security score. So this is fantastic, Daniel. Where do people go if they want to learn more about this?
Yeah, they need to go to the assessment portal site. It's aka.ms/assessment. This link is also available in the video description below, and that's the entry point. Yeah.
Awesome, fantastic. Thank you very much, Daniel. I will definitely go and try to check how secure my environment is, and I hope a lot of others do that as well. So also, thank you very much for everyone watching. If you want to learn more about the Cloud Adoption Framework, make sure you check out aka.ms/adopt.